Neptune was the Roman god of the sea, the divine ruler of the vast, boundless watery realm that has conveyed men to inspired voyages of discovery, as well as lured them to expire in its stormy depths. This was the name given to the new planet discovered in 1846, glowing faintly amongst the stars of the tropical zodiac sign Aquarius. Moving 30 times further from the Sun than Earth, and only visible with a telescope, Neptune's orbit is of such length that it has only this year, 2009, completed its first orbital revolution measured along the zodiac since it was first discovered. Almost like a premonition of what was to come some 230 years in the future, Neptune was actually first sighted by the Tuscan astronomer Galileo in 1612, when he was making observations of Jupiter with his telescope, but being stationary in the sky as viewed from Earth, he mistook it for a fixed star. Following the discovery of the new planet Uranus, which was first sighted in 1781 by William Herschel, mathematicians and astronomers recognized that the motion of Uranus was being perturbed by something else, something as yet unseen, most likely an eighth planet. Frenchman Jean Leverrier calculated the position of this putative body and sent his calculations to German astronomer Johann Gottfried Galle, who was working at the Berlin Observatory. With the help of his assistant, Galle pointed his telescope at Leverrier's estimated position and spotted the dim and distant planet not far from Saturn, with which it was in conjunction at that time. Saturn has for millennia symbolized limits, the sorrows of life's hardships, and the finitude of reality. Around the time of Neptune's discovery conjunct Saturn, there was a widespread yearning to transcend such hard restrictions of earthly existence, as well as a serious desire to carefully study and define the seemingly mysterious and chaotic ramifications of natural processes. Starting with the systematic use of ether in the 1840s, general anesthetics enabled the boundaries of physical pain to be transcended in order to allow surgical procedures to be performed. Photography, the capture of image in tangible form, developed in earnest at the same time. Art developed softer, more blurred and less definite representations of the world, as this early work by Monet illustrates. Marx published the Communist Manifesto in 1848, which concerned the notion of collective sharing of the burdens of labour as well as its rewards, and which set the foundations of a dissolution of previously inviolable distinctions of class. Darwin's 1859 work on the origin of species made a detailed examination of the variegated efflorescence of the natural world and distilled from its myriad of forms a simple, consistent theory. Neptune's movements and relationships with other planets seems to correspond to our conceptions of the ineffable, the mysterious and magical, and to phenomena which seem to shift seamlessly from one form to another, like Proteus, the shape-shifting sea creature of antiquity. While Neptune occupied the fire sign Leo, the playful costumes of the flapper years centered attention on the projection of personality and individual flair. In Earth sign Virgo in the 30s, fashion took a more restrained, cooler appearance as values of utility and practicality added a uniformity to appearances. In air sign Libra in the 1940s, gender roles became more pronounced, with long, wide dresses, narrow waists, and emphasized busts in vogue. In water sign Scorpio in the late 50s and 60s, miniskirts and skimpier costumes brought a more overt and bold sexual tone to outward appearances. In fire sign Sagittarius, fashion in the 1970s was noted for its extremes of largesse, as well as bright, vivid colours. In Capricorn in the 80s and early 90s, there was a fashion for power dressing with emphasized shoulder pads and a sober taste for clean and tidy lines. It is such complex, chaotic systems as the whims of fashion, the extemporizations of musical compositions, the development of storms, and the evolution of species that are represented by Neptune, systems whose complexity is beyond our capacity to calculate, but which call for our soul to recognize and resonate with. Returning to 25 degrees of Aquarius in 2009 and 2010, Neptune forms a long conjunction with Jupiter and the asteroid Chiron. Jupiter has long been associated with the principle of expansion and growth, of progress and opportunity, and with things that preserve and enrich life. Chiron, the half-man, half-beast, wounded healer of Greek myth, is the name given to an asteroid discovered between the orbits of Jupiter and Uranus in 1977. It is popularly associated with the experience of rejection because of deformity and the spiritual and therapeutic focus that results from such experience. It seems strangely fitting that humanity's first conscious experience of a complete orbital revolution of Neptune is occurring now, at a time of dawning recognition of how the common fluid realms of our planet, the fresh water, the oceans, and the atmosphere, have become spoiled, corrupted by malignant, unbalanced growth with no regard for the supportive matrix of the environment. We are witnessing chaos writ large, the turmoil of interconnected systems collapsing, and with this the dawning awareness of our own conscious role in regulating the complex feedback loops which define our ecological existence. Neptune's placement at this time in Aquarius, the sign of the commons and the collective, suggests that we are all part of the problem, but we must also be as individuals part of the solution. Neptune symbolizes our experience of chaos, of dreamlike, irrational experiences, of tumultuous, overwhelming currents, and the most subtle experiences of unity with the universe. More than at any time in human history, we are now faced with the choice whether to sink or swim, to insist on seeing our universe as a dead sea of randomness, or to recognize Neptune's call for reverence for its turbulent realm, to dance with its ever-shifting currents, and to open ourselves to the reality of our transpersonal and universal consciousness.